Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be talking about the Hoghunt Felled Greatclub. The Hoghunt Felled Greatclub is a two-handed mace with a physical damage of 28 to 39. Of course, that's enhanced by the stats on the item. It also has critical hit chance of 20%, which seems pretty high, especially considering some other weapons only have a critical strike chance of like 5, like you can see with my current crossbow. And it also has attacks per second of 0.99, which I believe is on the just generically okay side. It's not like fast, it's not slow. Because mine, I have some items that are a little bit faster, and some items I've seen a little bit slower. It seems to be in the middle. It says 116% increased physical damage, so it's definitely set up for physical damage specifically. It has 15% critical hit chance, so that's why it has a way higher critical hit chance than my current weapon does. And it also has 10% reduced attack speed, so it's a little bit slower than your average Felled Greatclub. It has plus 10 strength, which of course is going to come in handy if you're doing a strength build. You're going to need strength for all sorts of things, like you're going to need strength for the gems themselves. As you can see, they have a strength requirement. You also need the strength to be able to create them as well. So when you're trying to create a skill, you'll notice that there'll be a strength requirement. Like, for instance, I can't create this one because I don't have 43 strength to create this in the first place. So I would need to build my strength up higher to do that. And assuming if I put this on, which it doesn't look like I can, or if I can put it in my ultimate slot, would that allow me to suddenly create this thing? Yes, it would. See, so now I have enough strength to create this gem, because the weapon itself is giving me a large amount of plus strength. It also has maim on critical hit. So there's a lot of things going on here, and if you hold down Alt while you're looking at an item, you can take a look at some of these variables. Let's read the flavor text though first, which is, there was a very clear and delicious reason why the Ezomites chose to stop their flight and settle in Feril. Interesting. So Alt, and we're going to look at the things. So, of course, critical hits. Critical hits deal 100% extra damage, i.e. twice as much damage by default. Critical damage bonuses can further modify this value. Attacks usually use your weapon's base critical hit chance, while spells and some other skills have their base critical hit chance listed on the skill. Most modifiers to critical hit chance are percentage-based. For example, gaining 100% increased critical hit chance, and on base critical hit chance, 7% would result in a final critical hit chance of 14%. On top of this, it also has Maim, which is maimed enemies suffer 30% slower movement speed and 15% reduced evasion rating. So it's going to make them easier to be hit, and it's also going to slow them down. So every single time you get a critical strike, you're also going to get a nice little bonus there by slowing them down and making it easier to hit them, which is really nice. As you can see here with the attack speed, attacks are skills. Actually, attack speed isn't listed there, is it? It just has attack as a specific thing. Now, the weapon is primarily physical, which is definitely something to take into account. So when you're thinking about weapons and how they work, you have skills that are obviously going to be primarily physical skills. Like if we take a look at some of the mace skills, you may see that they convert damage from physical into fire. So setting up for pure physical is okay in this regard, because if you're trying to convert all of your damage from physical into fire, then having high physical damage is going to be a big deal, so that's going to help you out. Or you may just be using something that's really high physical, and you want to do like Armor Breaker. That's going to help you out a lot, because obviously the monsters have armor themselves, and being able to break their armor is going to increase your physical damage. So because this is set up for physical damage specifically, it's kind of something that you want to take advantage of. It's also set up for critical strikes specifically, which is also something that you can take advantage of. So having a large amount of critical strike chance, 20%, is a lot, especially considering that, like, I don't even think I have hardly any critical strike chance by comparison on this character. I mean, what do I got, like 5%? I was trying to see exactly how you could like look at the critical strike chance of like each individual skill, but it's not quite, I haven't quite figured out everything about this game yet. It also does have an interesting graphic as well. So let's take a look at the graphic, shall we? So as you can see, it's just like a boar's head carved into like a giant tree branch. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it other than that. Like, look at it. It's got tusks. It's got literally like a, you know, like one of those like rings that you put inside the snout. It's got one of those dangling from it. I'm not even sure if it might not actually be a pig head, like petrified or something. But it definitely is an interesting graphic, that's for sure. Just another of the unique items in Path of Exile 2. I've been having a blast with this game, by the way, and I think I'm probably going to have to make unique item videos on all the items. What potentially could you use this for? Well, obviously, it's a two-handed, giant, honking space mace, so you're probably going to be utilizing this with the mace skills. It's high physical, so you're probably going to either want to use it with a conversion ability or a pure physical damage attack. One or the other. It doesn't really matter what you're doing, because if you have high physical and you convert it to an element, then that's fine. Or if you're just going with a high physical damage attack specifically, and then that's fine too, because both of them obviously are going to get benefit from this. Because if you increase your physical damage, then 40% of your physical damage is going to be fire. There are some abilities that have higher percent conversion. It really depends on the ability itself. Like, some of them are, like, I see, this one is 60% physical. This one is only 40% physical. The warrior might not just be the best one when it comes to conversion abilities. I wonder how many other abilities, like generic abilities, he could probably have access to with this weapon as well. Never know. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching these videos. Look out for more of these in the coming weeks, because I'm going to be finding more and more uniques, and I'm going to be putting out more and more unique item videos. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. And as always, keep watching.